From America's heartland, it's Prodigy Bowlers Tour, celebrating junior bowling and elevating junior bowlers. Today, episode 157, the 2023 Kansas City Open December Adult Youth Doubles Tournament. 4 teams have qualified for the TV finals, and one of them will emerge as the Division I champions. Here are the finalists. Qualifying fourth and bowling in the first match are Robert and Kayla Hedges of Independence, Missouri. They'll face the team of Alan Dierking and Anthony Douglas, whose brother PJ won on Prodigy last month. The winner of that match will bowl the 2 seeds, Logan Lindsley and Landon Ziegenhurt, the reigning U15 boys champion at the Kansas Pepsi Tournament. And the winners of that match will bowl for the title against Lonnie Frederick and Caden White. They're our tournament leaders today. One of these 4 teams will come out of the stepladder finals as the Division I champions. And they will sign the coveted trophy pin here on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. We've returned once again to Olathe, Kansas and Olathe Lanes East for the December Adult Youth Doubles Tournament at the KCO. This is one of 2 adult youth doubles tournaments on the KCO calendar. The other one comes in March at Aaron's Family Fun Center in Belton, Missouri. These adult youth events are special because they serve as an added fundraiser to help increase the kitty for the scholarship prize money that will be awarded to these kids, since the adults aren't bowling for cash prizes of any kind. And with the Kansas high school bowling season just weeks away in January, when the Kansas kids are prohibited from bowling in any tournaments or leagues, you can bet they wanted in on this action while they could still participate. On our last edition of Prodigy Bowlers Tour, we showed you the Division IV stepladder at this event, and today we bring you the Division I finals. Qualifying for these adult youth doubles events is a little different from how it works in the KCO point tournaments. Rather than bowling 6 games, 3 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, as they do in the point tournaments, teams bowl 4 games, either in the A squad in the morning or the B squad in the afternoon. And here's how qualifying went down in Division I. As we so often see in Division I, many of the players choose to bowl the early squad, since the KCO doesn't usually oil the lanes more than once just before the early squad goes off. And after that early squad finished, it was the reigning U15 boys Kansas Pepsi champion, Landon Ziegenhurt, who got off to the fast start. But Anthony Douglas and Alan Dierking were close behind, as were Robert and Kayla Hedges. In fourth was Ethan Deal and his adult partner Brian Horn, who runs the pro shop here at Olathe Lanes East. And you may see a few names in the adult column that should ring familiar, as Antonio Miranda was bowling as the adult partner with Davis Best, Colby Lovegren was bowling with Rhett Ryman, Lauren Leonardi was bowling with Skylar Holmes, and Justin Preston came back as the adult partner with Mason Browning. But then, much to the delight of the B squad contestants, they unexpectedly oiled the lanes between squads. And not surprisingly, that helped to yield some high scores in the B squad. None were higher than those of Caden White, who fired games of 279, 268, 239, and 258 for a cool little 10-44 series that lifted him and his adult partner Lonnie Frederick into the lead, where they're now just 1 match away from claiming the title. But first, we've got some other eager teams chomping at the bit, and they're ready to get this party started. So here we go. In match 1, it's our number 4 qualifiers, Robert Hedges and his daughter Kayla Hedges, bowling against the team that qualified in the 3rd position, Alan Dierking and Anthony Douglas. Alan, you might recall, was on the show last year when he made the stepladder at this event with PJ Douglas. But today, PJ was bowling with his dad, Pete, And Alan is partnered with PJ's younger brother, Anthony Douglas. Robert Hedges is making his first appearance on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Kayla, of course, you've seen. She won in Lawrence back in January. Comes up a little high. Robert leaves the 4-7 to start. And now Alan Dierking. Plows through the pocket for a big strike to start. The action to our right on lanes 3 and 4, that's Division 2. And we'll summarize the activity in their stepladder when we get to the end of the show. Easy spare for Robert Hedges. Anthony Douglas leaves the swishin' 7 on his opening toss. Good ball, just didn't quite get them all. And now Kayla Hedges and her unorthodox delivery. She has a different way of doing it, but it works for her. Spare for Anthony. We bowl league style here in the adult youth doubles tournament, so the adults bowl in the leadoff position, the youth bowlers bowl in the anchor spot. So now they switch lanes for frame 2. There's a strike. Bob Hedges as Alan Dierking moves over to the right lane. And he leaves a cluster, the 2-4-5-7. A difficult spare. Kayla crossing over. The 10 falls out, and she leaves the 3-6. Good spare by Allen on a tough spare. You see that we've taken his 30 pins of handicap, added them into his score right there in the first frame. So he shows 50 in the first. Kayla with a spare in the second. And the number at the bottom of the screen, the +30, indicates the team that's in the lead. The arrow pointing to the left indicates the team that's on the left side of the score sheet. That's Allen and Anthony. They lead by 30. Boom. There's a double for Bob Hedges. And that cuts into the lead of Allen and Anthony. Their lead is now just 20. Now Allen in the third frame working on a spare. And he too leaves the swishin' 7 as Kayla puts a strike up in the third frame. Here's a fun fact about Alan Dierking. He has only recently, in the last few years, switched to right-handed. He had an injury that forced him to stop bowling with his left hand and arm. But most of his honor scores that he's bowled in his life, including an 847 series, he bowled left-handed. it's remarkable that he's bowling as well as he is, right-handed. There's a strike for Anthony. That pushes their lead back up to 29. We bowl on the house shot at the KCO. They oiled before the morning squad of qualifying and again before the afternoon squad of qualifying. They did not re-oil before the stepladder. And another strike. Robert with a turkey. Now, unfortunately, because of the continuous action of league-style bowling, we won't have a chance to give you any replays today. But I imagine we'll have plenty of great shots to look at, like that one by Alan Dierking, a strike in the fourth. Kayla with another solid strike and a double to cut into Anthony and Alan's lead. It's now just 9 pins. Oh! Anthony had a chance to push it back up to 19, but instead he leaves the stone 9. Now, all of our Division I youth bowlers will have 0 handicap because Division I bowls scratch. The adults go by their average. It's a 90% handicap difference between their average and 220, and if they don't have a league average, well, they just got to bowl scratch. Ooh, the wall shot backfires on Allen. He nearly leaves the 5-7, but just the 7-pin remains. Now, Bob Hedges with a chance to take the lead for his team. But the 10-pin stops him. And now both adults with a single pin spare to contend with. Allen takes care of the 7. And now Bob will go cross lane at the 10-pin. And he covers it. So now Anthony trying to bounce back off that stone 9. Well, he almost left another one. It was late in going, but it's a strike. And now Kayla Hedges with a chance to take the lead for her team. Working on a double. And she comes up just a pinch high. Leaves the 4. Kayla won in Lawrence back in January in Division II. Oh, man. It's a slap in the face, a stone 8. Kayla with a spare. Obviously, she's been rated up to Division I since bowling in Division II. As a matter of fact, she was bowling in Division II as recently as September when she finished 8th. Spare for Robert. Oh, man. That didn't look that high. It just jumped a little bit at the end. It's a 4-9. Kayla with a 10-pin. Here's how you make the 4-9. Put the ball over on the left side of the 4 and slide it over into the 9. He takes the conservative route. That's 9 out. And the Hedges now have the lead by a single stick. Although Anthony can take that lead right back with a strike here in the 6th. But it's a 10-pin. Anthony, the youngest player in our field today, 14 years old. He turns 15 in March. Alan, his partner, the oldest player in our field today, he's 60. Anthony using every board on the lane, every inch of every board. And now Alan up on lane 1. Boy, we're seeing a lot of those, aren't we? Now with such a thin lead, both Robert and Kayla working on spares. They got to watch their count here. That's how you watch your count. You just get them all. So that strike helps them keep their razor-thin 1-pin lead. Allen going for the 10. Look out. Well, that'll grow the Hedges lead. And Kayla tips out the 10-pin herself. And now their lead is 12. Anthony getting a light shaker to go. He has bowled really well today. Robert carefully setting his feet. These adults don't want to let down their youth partners. And he rips the rack. That's a double. The lead is now 22. And Allen through the nose this time. Nearly had the 3-6-10. The 3 tips out late. And he's left with just the 6-10. Kayla with a chance to increase their lead. But no, she's wide of the head pin and leaves the washout. So that's trouble. Now Allen for the spare. Look out. All right, covers it. Oh, man, a valiant effort by Kayla to convert the washout, but she sends the head pin around the 10, and that tightens the match. It's now just 10 pins in the favor of the Hedges. And another light shaker for Anthony. And that has evened the match. We are through 8 frames, and this match is deadlocked. And Allen finds the pocket with that 9th frame toss. And another ripper by Bob Hedges. And he extends his string of strikes, and now Robert and Kayla back out in front by 10 pins. But Anthony can even the match again with a strike here. And there it is. He gets the love tap on the 10. And we're right back to even. Kayla with a strike of her own. So this match is all tied up, all four players with a strike working in the 9th frame. A high hit for Bob. And that 7 count means Alan and Anthony are back out ahead, this time by 3. Oh! Well, there's a 7 count as well. He doesn't lose any pins in count because he was only on 1 strike, not multiple. But that's a big split. A spare for Robert Hedges. He knows what that means. Alan's going to have a hard time converting this. You got to figure. And he does the smart thing, takes the count. But that means the Hedges are back out ahead by 9. Robert fills it up on his fill ball, so that's a 235. And again, it's the Hedges who have a 9-pin lead as the youth bowlers come up in the 10th. A ripper by Anthony. That strike by Anthony put his team back out ahead, but precariously, just a 1-pin lead. And now Anthony, with the shutout ball in hand, he can win the match for his team with a strike here in the 11th frame. And there it is. He does it with a light shaker. And that puts him over the top. Even if Kayla strikes and Anthony throws his next ball in the gutter, he would have 432 for the team. Kayla and Robert can only get to 431. So this match is decided. It's a 9 count for a 248. And Kayla will complete the formality of finishing out the match. And there's a 9 count. Final score, 441 to 430. Couple of lead changes in this match, but in the end, it's Alan Dierking and Anthony Dokolas who are moving on to face Logan Lindsley and Landon Ziegenhurt. In a tight match that went back and forth and was deadlocked going into the 10th frame, it was Anthony Dokolas who stepped up and threw the strikes that his team needed. I guess throwing clutch strikes in the 10th frame must run in the family, as we've seen Anthony's older brother PJ do it more than once on Prodigy. Kayla Hedges and her dad Robert bowled great, but just came up a little short at the end. But Kayla has proven that despite her unorthodox style, she can compete with the big boys in Division I and hold her own. I'm sure we'll see her again. But it's the team of Alan Dierking and Anthony Dokolas who are advancing to Match 2, where they'll now face Logan Lindsley and Landon Ziegenhurt. Landon faced down Rhett Ryman in the final match at the Kansas Pepsi tournament last spring to take the title among the U15 boys. So we know he's tournament tested. But today the test is how the two players on each team can ham and egg it. In other words, when one player slips, the other one is there to pick up the slack. That's what bowling as a doubles team is all about. And Alan and Anthony just showed that they know how to get it done. The question is, can they keep it going? Logan and Landon hope to slow their momentum starting right now. Logan, by far the youngest of the adults in our field today. He's just 18. But he throws a nice, smooth strike to start things up. And the gauntlet has been thrown down. But Allen answers the bell with a strike of his own. And now, Landon Ziegenhurt. I watched him win the Pepsi back in the spring, but he has a whole bevy of tournament victories to his credit, including the 2022 state, 2023 state, 6A regionals, classic team competition. He is a seasoned tournament bowler. And you see the results of that first toss. The pins run to get out of the way. But Anthony's like, I got some strikes of my own. And all four players start with an X. And you see the lead of 16 pins to the team on the right side of the score sheet. That's Allen and Anthony. That's all because of Allen's handicap. He gets 30 pins. Logan gets 14. Oh! Now that's a fine how do you do. Stone 8. Oh my. Logan light in the pocket and breaks it down to just 2 pins, but those 2 pins are standing a little farther apart than he'd like to see. The 210. Allen covers his single pin spare without a problem, so now Logan for the split. And he gets too much of the 2 pin, so there's our first open of the match. And you can see we've added his 14 pins of handicap into his score right there in the first frame. Anthony with another strike. And that pushes his team's lead up to 38 already. And Landon shrinks it right back down to 28 with a double of his own. I think these two young guns in the field, Landon and Anthony, may be having a little competition within a competition. Pretty good toss by Logan, but just didn't quite kick out the corner pin, so he'll get to shoot the 10. And now Allen back up on lane 2. And he nearly blows the rack, but the 7 stubbornly refuses to fall, so he'll have a corner pin to shoot. Oh no! Logan drops that one in the moat. And that's back-to-back opens, and the lead for Allen and Anthony has grown to 38 pins. Allen makes short work of that 7 pin. Now Landon with that powerful strike ball would like to get another one here. And he does. He makes him scatter. And Anthony matches him. Boy, that 10-pin was late in falling, but fall it did. As the two grown-ups back up again, Alan Deerking up on lane 1. Oh, that looked like it was going to crowd the head pin a little, but he gets it to go. And there's a strike by Logan Lindsley. As I mentioned earlier, Anthony, just 14 years old. Landon on the right lane, 16. And that swisher just doesn't seem to want to go today. And another 7-pin. Anthony gets his with the swish and hit. Landon leaves his on a wall shot. But the result is the same. 7-pin. Anthony covers his. And Landon makes the 7-pin on the right lane. Couple of very interesting players. Both Logan and Landon bowl at Junction City Bowl in Junction City, Kansas. There's a solid strike for Logan, and that double helps their cause. And Allen trying to match it, but is stopped by a solid 10-pin. Allen works in the pro shop here at Olathe Lanes East. As a matter of fact, he's got to open the store as soon as we're done bowling today. Covers the 10-pin. Goodness gracious. Stand back or you might get sucked in by the backdraft. And there's the ripper. Anthony with another strike. So both Landon and Anthony, 4 strikes in the first 5 frames. The Pins taking their time in getting stood back up. After the beating they've been taking, they may be afraid to come back to the battleground. All right, Allen. Gave that one a little more room. I think it may have found the dry and started reading the lane a little sooner than he'd liked. And there's the light shaker by Logan Lindsley to put a turkey up on the board, and that shrinks the lead of Allen and Anthony down to just 17 pins. Allen, who lists his best moment in bowling when his daughter won state. Easy spare. All right, Landon Ziegenhurt. Oh, stand back. There's shrapnel flying everywhere as Landon shreds the rack. That'll send a message to Anthony. Oh, he pulled that one, but it's set in the oil perfectly. And the lead is 17 for Alan and Anthony. Oh, he gave that one a little extra juice, sent it a little wider, and it crosses over and he gets the Brooklyn. Oh, he trips out the 4-9. And that shaves the lead down to 7 for Alan and Anthony. Anthony in a little too thin this time, leaves the 2-pin, and now Landon with a chance to take the lead. Boom! And you see the arrow now pointing left toward the names Logan and Landon. They have the lead by 4. There's a spare for Anthony Douglas, trying to duplicate the feat that his brother achieved last month on Prodigy Bowlers Tour, winning the Division I title at the KCO. But he's got to get past a tough opponent this game. There's a strike by his partner, Alan Deerking. And that brings the lead back over to their side. 10-pin stops Logan. He could have taken the lead right back for his team. And now Anthony Douglas back up on the left lane. And he gets that 10-pin to go this time. So he and Alan both with strikes working now. Ooh, that one looked like it was headed to the moat. But Logan brings it back like it was on a string. But now Landon once again with strikes up. He can move that arrow back to the left side and take the lead right back for his team if he can strike. Oh my goodness. Well, he sent that one way wide. We don't have time to show you the replay, but that ball was way out on about the 3 board. Much wider than anything else he's thrown this match. And now he's got his hands full. The 2-8-10. This is about a 1 in 1,000 shot. He just takes the count. Make sure to get the 2 and the 8. But that grows the lead for Alan Deerking and Anthony Douglas to 22 pins heading into the 9th and 10th. Oh, just a little high for Logan. 4-pin. Now Allen with strikes up can extend the lead. Oh, and he threw his Sunday ball right there. And their lead is now 33. Logan covers the 4-pin. Anthony takes advantage of that strike he had up in the 8th. And now with that double, he pushes his team's lead to 43. Logan and Landon now have their backs to the wall. Landon gets the shaker to go, but It's going to be a tough climb, trailing by 43 pins, heading into the 10th frame, with Alan and Anthony both working on doubles. It's still mathematically possible, though. There's a shaker for Logan. He wasn't sure about that one. Ooh, goodness gracious. Alan almost had a light 710. You see 710s in the pocket. You see them high on the nose, but rarely do you see them light like that. But he gets the 10 to fall. There's a much-needed double by Logan Lindsley. So he's going to be in the 220s. Alan covers the 7. But I believe Logan and Landon were hoping that he might have whiffed that single pin spare. Would have made the comeback a little more within reach. But as it is, it's going to be a 33-pin hill to climb for Landon Ziegenhurt. All right, 32 pins. Landon has to go off the sheet. There's one, but honestly, I think Anthony can just slow walk this one. Ooh, he gets 9 out of that, and that virtually seals it. If Landon Ziegenhurt strikes out, his team will have 472. If Anthony whiffs this 9-pin, his team would finish with 472. But with that failure to strike right there, this match goes in the win column for Alan Dierking and Anthony Dokulis. So they're going to be bowling for the championship against our tournament leaders. One more toss by Anthony Dokulis, and we'll get the final tally here. But it was a well-bowled game. Anthony's going to be in the 230s. Alan with a 246, counting his handicap. And that gives us a final tally of 483 to 458. It's Alan Dierking and Anthony Dokulis who have climbed the stepladder, and now they're in the final match against Lonnie Frederick and Caden White. for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Another tight match that was punctuated by some terrific shot making and a couple of lead changes that could have gone either way. In the end, it wound up in the win column for Alan Dierking and Anthony Dokolas. But Logan Lindsley and Landon Ziegenhurt certainly acquitted themselves nicely. But for a couple of mistakes, this match could easily have swung in the other direction. But now, Anthony Dokolas is one more win away from duplicating what his brother PJ did last month on Prodigy Bowlers Tour, win the Division I title at the KCO. Standing in their way is the team with the hottest bowler in the building today. Caden White threw games of 279, 268, 239, and 258 in qualifying this afternoon. And his adult partner, Lonnie Frederick, didn't exactly slow him down, as Lonnie fired games of 214, 227, 257, and 195. I know Caden's been wanting to win on Prodigy ever since we missed covering his victory back in February when I was out due to my car accident. He's been pounding on the door ever since and was the tournament leader last month, only to come up short at the end to Anthony's older brother, PJ. So will it be a Dokolas double, or will Caden finally break through on Prodigy and get to sign the coveted trophy pin? Well, we're about 20 minutes away from finding out. Lonnie and Caden have opted to let Alan and Anthony start on the left lane. And that ball comes in a little thin. The 2, 4, 5, 7. That's the same spare Alan started with in our first match today. Now Lonnie. And he shreds the rack with his opening toss. Sends that 5 pin over into the 7 with abandon. And as we wait for the action on lane 3, I'll remind you that's Division II over there on lanes 3 and 4. And we'll summarize their stepladder action when we get to the end of the show. Oh, an early mistake as Alan chops the 2-4-5 off the 7. And you see we've added his 30 pins of handicap into his score right there in the first frame. Caden White with a strike to start. I tell you what, this is as good as I've seen Anthony Dokolas bowl at the KCO. We see him in league at Olathe Lanes East, and I know what he's capable of doing, and he's really not shown it so much at the KCO, but he's really bowling up to his potential today. This ought to be a good match. A strike for Allen to bounce back off that open in the first. And we see that Lonnie Frederick has hit the reset button to get a fresh set of pins. It seems the 5 pin was missing, had fallen over, and you got to have all 10 pins to shoot at him. Oh my goodness. Well, he pulled that one into left field, missing the head pin, and leaves the 2 pins that he was trying to hit with the ball. The 1-3. There's another strike for Anthony. And he seizes the early lead for his team despite Allen's open. Well, one thing about shooting the 1-3 spare is you should have had plenty of practice at it. And that is, after all, the pocket you're shooting at on every strike ball. All right, Caden White Little Whitey, they call him. Sent that one wide, and it just did not make the turn back. So the 2-5, a choppable spare, especially when you play it from the right side of the lane like he's doing. But he crosses over and gets the 2-pin a little on the left side, covers the spare. Lonnie trying to get it dialed back in. 2 pulls in a row. The one in the second frame missed the head pin left. This time a little high on the head pin. Leaves just the 4. And Allen back in the pocket. Sends that 5-pin over toward the 7, but the 7 remains. Lonnie takes care of the 4-pin. Both of these adult partners have been on Prodigy before. Allen made the finals with Anthony's older brother PJ Douglas 1 year ago at the December Adult Youth Doubles Tournament. And Caden White and Lonnie Frederick made the show in March at the Adult Youth Doubles Tournament that was held at Aaron's Family Fun Center in Belton, Missouri, where we will return in March. Oh, a thin hit, but he rolls the 2-pin from behind, and he says, "I'll take it." And another light hit, but this time Anthony not as fortunate as Caden, and he leaves the 2-8. And this is a tricky spare here. From our perspective, from the bowler's perspective, it doesn't look like those 2 pins are sitting that far apart, but they're almost 2 feet separated. But he hits it squarely on the face of the 2, and that's how we recommend making the 2-8. Anytime you've got double wood like that or a sleeper in the back, that ball's got to hit squarely on the face of the front pin. All right, Alan Dierking working on a spare. And he gets the wall shot this time. The head pin goes to the left wall, comes back, gets the 4, 5, and 7. And Lonnie right back on it with a strike in the 4th. But it's Alan Dierking and Anthony Douglas with the lead at the moment by 9 pins. And Anthony makes sure it stays that way with a strike in the 4th. But now Caden White working on a strike can move the lead into his team's favor with a strike here in the 4th. And that's exactly what he does with a no-nonsense strike. And it's a narrow lead, but it is a lead. And all 4 players have strikes working now, as Lonnie and Caden are 1 pin up. Ooh, that 7-pin was late in going. But Lonnie extends his team's lead to 11. Allen can shave it back down to 1. But instead, he's wide with that toss. And that left lane is starting to look a little tricky. It's like there's a little hang area in front of the pocket. And if you hit it, the ball just doesn't keep climbing. The 210. He's got to go for it. Oh, and he did go for it. That was close. But an open frame extends Lonnie and Caden's lead to 23 pins. Caden ripping the rack. Extends to 33, but now Anthony with a chance to cut it again to 23. With a ball like that, that'll do it. Man, we're seeing some shot making this match. I thought the action was pretty good in that last match. And for that matter, the first match was pretty dope too. All right, Allen trying to bounce back off that open frame. That's how you do it. Oh, Lonnie had the 4, 6, 7, but the 6 goes out very late. And now Anthony trying to shave that lead. Oh, 9 and a wiggle. That 6 pin goes flying around the 10. Lonnie with a spare. And Anthony with a low stress conversion of the 10 pin. And now Caden can put some distance between his team and the team of Allen and Anthony if he can strike here. But instead he goes through the nose, nearly leaves the 3, 6, 10. The 3 goes out late. And he's got the 6, 10. He'll go with his spare ball, throw it hard and straight, cross lane. Oh, but he misses wide. And there's an unforced error that'll tighten this match. Now just 8 pins separating the two teams. And Lonnie gets a blower to go. So now Allen with a chance to regain the lead with a strike here in the 7th, working on that strike in the 6th. And he buries it. Man, that was a good ball. Thank you. You're welcome. So Allen and Anthony back out ahead by 2 pins. Caden with a strike. Coming off that open. Anthony puts a strike up. So once again, all 4 players with strikes up. So this match could turn in just about any direction. Who's going to step up at the end? Somebody's going to have to. Boy, that was another good toss by Allen. Not rewarded, though. Lonnie, another high hit. Gets away with it, leaves just the 4. But neither player taking advantage of the fact that they had strikes up. Allen going for the 10 pin. Oh, goodness. He pulled that one. And the lead passes to Lonnie and Caden. Lonnie covers the 4. So now Anthony taking all the pressure on his shoulders. Gets him to scatter. And that's a huge double as it cuts the lead of Lonnie and Caden down to just 1 pin. But now Caden, with a strike up, can move it back to 11. But instead, he goes through the nose and very nearly left the 4-9. He left the 4-9 in the 8th frame against P.J. Dokalis last month. And he went for it boldly and missed both of them, and it ended up costing him the tournament at the end. This time he leaves just the 9. And covers it. But the lead remains just 1 pin heading into the 9th frame. A ripper by Lonnie. That ought to help. Allen trying to bounce back off that open. And once again, that ball seems to hit that hang area right in front of the pocket on the left lane. It doesn't make it all the way back, and now Allen with another difficult spare, the bucket, the 2-4-5-8. Caden nearly leaves the bucket himself, but he breaks down the spare to just the 2-4. That's a huge conversion by Allen. That keeps the match super close. And Caden with a conversion of the 2-4. Now, Anthony can extend the team's lead to 11 with a strike. There it is. And he picked a good time to throw another strike, because now Anthony and his partner Alan Deerking will take an 11-pin lead into the 10th frame. Oh, man, that wall shot almost produced a disastrous result. But Allen now looking at just the 4. Lonnie with a well-timed bucket crumbler to get a huge double in the 10th to even the match. There's a positively essential spare for Allen. Well, you want drama? You want a close finish? You got it. Oh man, Lonnie measured that one perfectly. And now he's given himself and Caden a 10-pin lead. Big strike to finish for Allen. Every pin counts. As Caden discovered 1 month ago, when it was count that got him at the end. All right, Lonnie. Fills 9. That's a 245. So now the situation is this. Even though Lonnie and Caden have the lead, if Anthony strikes out in the 10th, he'll shut out Caden's team. Oh, man! He threw such a good shot there. Not rewarded. And now the situation is this. Caden White needs to fill 11 in the 10th frame for the win. And that strike is going to make his job mighty easy, because now all he needs is one pin on 2 balls to get it done. That's assuming Anthony covers the 10 and then strikes on his fill ball. Caden needs just one pin to put this one away and stay behind the foul line. There it is. 7 is more than enough. Anthony with 9 on the fill will give him 235. That'll give them a total of 438. It's not going to be enough. Caden White and Lonnie Frederick, you have won the December Adult Youth Doubles Tournament in Division I with a 449 total, an 11-pin victory. And Caden finally wins on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. We'll visit with the winners and get them to sign the coveted trophy pin next.
The perfect Christmas gift for the bowler on your list is inside this envelope. It's a Brunswick Bowler's Gift Certificate. And with it, a bowler can get a high-scoring Brunswick ball, bag, and bowling shoes. So why not stop in at your favorite bowling lanes, sports, jewelry, or department store and pick up a Brunswick Bowler's Gift Certificate? Yes, this Christmas, why not give all 3 the easy Brunswick Gift Certificate way? And that's the way to take care of your Christmas shopping.
Help! Get me out of here! It's cold in here. It's snowing. Help! I'm freezing my teeth in here.
A thrilling championship match that came down to the final balls in the final frame. Lonnie Frederick stepped up and doubled in the 10th, and that forced Anthony Dokolis to throw 3 strikes in the 10th to win, but was stopped by a ringing 10. So, after running the stepladder all the way to the final match, Anthony and Allen came up just a little bit short, which is especially heartbreaking for Anthony because now with Kansas high school bowling season almost here, he won't have another chance to finish in the winner's circle at the KCO until March. But I'm sure this isn't the last we'll see of him. And Caden White, whose spectacular play all day in qualifying, is finally rewarded with a title on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. So he and his partner Lonnie Frederick pay a visit to the winner's circle.
Look who's been knocking on the door, and he finally breaks through. It's Caden White, ladies and gentlemen. Little Whitey won on Prodigy. The real deal. How'd you do it?
I threw good shots all day, and finally in the finals, Lonnie was able to save me. Finished it.
He got us here, so.
Well, Lonnie Frederick, who is a friend of Caden's dad. You guys play softball together? Is that the deal?
Yep.
Well, he's pretty good at these games where you throw the ball underhanded.
Old man game.
I don't know about that. It looks like it's a young man's game sometimes when we see guys like Caden throwing it. But, so were you ham and egging it all day? Is that what happened?
You were. I was just going for the ride.
Just tagging along?
Yep.
I think you might have had a little more to do with it than that. But I do know that Caden started the day 279, 268.
Yeah.
And then what'd you throw the rest of your qualifying?
I think I shot like a 235, something like that, and then
Slacker.
and then a 250 something.
Just laying off on that third game. Well, that's some great bowling. Congratulations. And you
Thank you.
finally got it done on Prodigy.
Finally.
So this time there's going to be no special exemption extended to you to get into the Prodigy Tournament of Champions at the end of the year. Lonnie, I'm sorry, but the offer to bowl in the Tournament of Champions is not extended to the adult partners.
That's okay.
But you do get to sign the coveted trophy pin, each of you. So pick a pin out of our box O pins, sign it, date it. Lonnie's going with a different color.
Gotta go to red.
He's going red. Today is the 3rd of December. We finally get that shot of Caden signing the pin. It was a long time coming, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Caden probably thought the wait was worth it. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I'm happy I finally did it.
Well, so am I. Congratulations to both of you. Way to go.
Thank you.
Ain't nothing like winning.
As I mentioned earlier, the action to our right on lanes 3 and 4 was Division 2, and here's how their stepladder finals played out. In match 1, the 4 seeds, Layla Gonzalez and her adult partner Cody Masterson, defeated the 3 seeds, Dominic Figueroa and his adult partner Amber Wasson, 415 to 375. That sent Layla and Cody into match 2 against the number 2 qualifiers, Tanner Cunningham and his adult partner Adam Cunningham. And it was the Cunninghams who came out on top, 451 to 396. And in the championship match against the tournament leaders, Brooklyn Peck and her adult partner Jim Anderson, it was Tanner and Adam Cunningham who eked out a close victory in a low-scoring final, 366 to 360. So congratulations to Tanner and Adam Cunningham of Hutchinson, Kansas, for their Division II championship. On our last edition of Prodigy Bowlers Tour, you saw the Division IV championship go to Andrew Farrow and his adult partner Lloyd Kaufman. And we told you about how the Division III crown went to Leah Wilson and her adult partner Tyler Gromlowitz. And in Division V, we told you how the title went to Shane Schonifer and Randy Schonifer of Chanute, Kansas. So once again, congratulations to all 5 championship doubles teams at the 2023 Kansas City Open December Adult Youth Doubles Tournament. The next stop on Prodigy Bowlers Tour is Lawrence, Kansas for the 2024 KCO January Point Tournament. A year ago, Rhett Ryman benefited from his high school holding off its first varsity bowling practice of the year to the day after the KCO, and he made the most of it, capturing the Division I title. And that's a winner! If you'd like to enter a Kansas City Open or just want to know more about the tournament series, visit their website at www.kansascityopen.com. If you like this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video on the channel. If you'd like to support the work we do in producing Prodigy Bowlers Tour, and it takes about 35 to 40 hours to produce each and every episode, become a Prodigy patron. For just $5 a month, you'll get early access to all our full-length episodes. And for just $10 a month, you'll not only get early access, but you'll also get your name listed in the show's closing credits as an executive producer, just like they do in Hollywood. Plus, you'll receive my undying appreciation. To keep up with all things Prodigy, check out our Facebook group. From any page on Facebook, type Prodigy Bowlers Tour into the search bar and hit enter. That'll take you to a page where you can submit a request to join the group. You'll be presented with 3 screening questions. There's no right or wrong answer. It isn't a quiz, but it's a way for us to screen out spam bots. So you must answer the screening questions or your request to join the group will be declined. So that's it for 2023 on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. We'll be back in 2024 with more of what you've come to expect on the show. Great bowling action from some awesome young people. So, until next time, this is Coach Randy reminding you to stay behind the foul line, don't eat the fruitcake, keep kicking out the corner pins, but not the foul lights. And I'll talk to you again on the next episode of Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Now, go get your bowl on.